y'all, and welcome back for another video. So today we're going to be taking a look at some plot twist videos, and this one was pretty interesting because it's supposed to be some of the worst meals eaten by 600-pound people. I need for people to understand that that acceptance is a lie. There's truly nothing to accept about morbid obesity other than the fact that you're failing yourself and you're a huge burden to everyone around you and point blank period to society. So let's go ahead and check this out.
Here are some of the most unhealthy meals on my 600-pound life.
When I wake up in the morning, I start hurting because the pain is intense. My ankles are swollen all the time.
Cynthia's Story, Season 5. Meet Cynthia Wells, a 42-year-old woman from Oklahoma City, weighing 610 pounds.
My knees are constantly in pain. My body is pretty stiff because I haven't moved all night, and I have to take a lot of breaks.
Even walking is a huge task for Cynthia because of her weight, and she's tired of living like this.
Bathing myself is one of the hardest things I do. It hurts. Every day, I'm just praying that this body doesn't give out. But there's already so much I can't do on my own. And my weight has become a burden to my family.
It's become a burden to your family, and it's become a burden to society. And some people may say, oh, well, this woman still works or whatever. And I get that she may not be on welfare or government assistance or anything that we know of just yet. But you're still a burden to society. Anytime that you are over consuming food, you are driving prices of food up for everyone else who may be a normal person who just wants to eat and survive. And she's talking about, oh, I'm in so much pain from head to toe every day the moment I wake up in the morning. And it's like, wouldn't that be enough to make you want to change? Like the fact that you're literally in pain and you know it's because of your weight, you know it's because you overconsume food. So wouldn't the answer be to just not eat as much as you're eating right now and maybe change your diet to healthier foods? Like it just seems like such common sense, and I really don't understand this. I just don't. And maybe it's because they're addicted, but it's like, at a certain point in time, when is too much going to be too much? Like, when is the pain going to be too much for you to just say, you know what, I'm not going to eat this extra plate of food today? It's mind-blowing.
She hates the idea of depending on other people, but at this point, her body just can't handle her weight anymore.
Once I get out the shower, my daughter comes in and she'll clean out the back of my legs because my arms are too short to reach. That's a lot. She is a 40-year-old woman in an 11-year-old's body. And it is embarrassing for her to see me like this. She shouldn't have to do it. And I feel horrible that I have to ask her to do something that I should be able to do myself. Can you finish?
Okay, that's just disgusting on so many levels. You're a little girl. You're 11 years old. Your chores should be keeping after yourself. You know, like making sure that you as an 11-year-old are able to shower and you're having to help bathe your mom. Like, this is a form of child abuse. I'm sorry, asking children to do things that are way beyond their capability. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's so unfortunate that this little girl has had to do this. Like, not only is it truly disgusting, but it's abuse, in my own opinion. It's absolutely abuse. She's not allowed to be a kid. You should be helping her get ready and dressed in the morning, not the opposite way around. She's a child, 11, having to clean out the back of your mom's legs. When people have those fat rolls like that, it's because they build up yeast and stuff in there, and they have to literally clean it, or the skin can become like, what is it, like necrotic? And then you can have situations like this. And I know that's a lot to look at, but seriously, like, that's real. And again, you would think at some point, like, knowing that you're being a burden to your own kid, when is enough enough? You don't want to give your kid a better life? I don't understand. Even if you don't want this for yourself, you should want it at least for your children. Like, why did you have kids? So that they could take care of you?
I'm about to go and start cooking breakfast.
Okay.
But as much as Cynthia hates being a burden on others,
Did that little girl wash the back of her fat mama's legs and then proceed to say, I'm going to start cooking breakfast? Oh my God. And don't get me wrong, at 11, that's an amazing thing. Like, if she can cook breakfast and stuff, like, more power to her, because you know some adults that don't even know how to cook or take care of themselves, which is pathetic. At what point is this kid going to be able to be a kid?
all her worries seem to fade away as soon as she starts thinking of food.
Good morning.
How many kids she got? We just saw 4 boys and a girl, and not a dude in sight, not a father in sight. So all the men that you've had in your life probably just came in, hit, and quit. I hate to say it, but if you're 600 pounds, if you're 500 pounds, if you're 400 pounds, you are a monstrosity. Let's just call it what it is. You're not normal. We just saw her naked. She looked nothing like a human. Like, literally, that she looked like a manatee. In fact, some people might say manatees look better.
My family is my life. And my biggest thing right now is just being a better mother. But my weight limits me so much. So I want to lose the weight. But when the cravings come, all I want to do is eat. And when I get...
So that little girl cooked them like a literally full course breakfast. I see bacon, I see eggs, I see toast. Oh my goodness. And we're talking about a little girl. Wow. That is insane. Like, this is just, and she's talking about, oh, I just want to be a better mom. Your kids look like they're like teenagers at this point. You done missed all the critical points and years where they needed to build a bond with you that may have actually been like a mother. They're like a mother to you. That's insane.
I get even more depressed. So I just go back to bed for a while.
For breakfast, she has multiple helpings of eggs, greasy bacon, buttered bread, and a bunch of breakfast sausages.
I want to be there for my kids, but I just can't be the mom that I want to right now. Can we go to the park today? I guess. No matter how much I want to try, I just can't do much. So I have to watch from the parking lot. I can see the benches in the playground area, but they're too far for me to get to, and there's nothing between for me to stop and rest.
After a breakfast like that, Cynthia has no energy to do anything else for the most part of the day, but she has to show up for her.
So we're talking about a 40-foot walk, and she can't make it to help, her, or to play with her kids, make sure nothing happens to them while they're at the park, leaving them completely vulnerable. But you're going to be in a point where you're in a wheelchair soon. And that's not a wake-up call. A 20 to 40-foot walk is impossible for you. And you just continually consume food. Shocking.
Kids, no matter how hard it is for her to physically keep up with them.
So even though I've had breakfast, I stopped to get a snack. Hi, I need 3 large jalapeno kolaches, 2 glazed twists, a donut hole, a small orange juice, and a large orange juice. I am a special education teacher. And being a teacher requires being on your feet all day. Come on. But when I get to work, I can't even make it in the building into my classroom without stopping.
Cynthia has her second meal of the day only a few hours after her big breakfast because food is a way for her to deal with all the stress at work.
By the time I get to my room, I'm so physically wiped out and I'm starving, but I'm constantly around food.
So she stopped for another breakfast after her 11-year-old daughter made them all breakfast. She gets an extra one, and it looked like she had her other child, who probably goes to the school that she teaches at, assist her to the room and carry her food for her. Wow, what a great mom. You should be walking your kid to his class to make sure he has a good day, and yet he's having to do that for you. And then the idea of eating all this food after you just had breakfast. Like, that's too much food. And you're wondering why you're in pain. You're wondering why you're fat. Like, you eat too much. And that's the one thing that like fat people never want to admit. They never want to be realistic about why they're big. You're big because you eat way more than everyone else. You're 600 pounds because you're eating anywhere from 6,000 to 7,000 calories per day. You're a burden to society at that point. The reason why food is more expensive for me and my family is because of people like you who choose to buy more food that's too much even for you, and yet you just continually eat and feed yourself. So now you're sitting there, one person whose weight is equivalent to 4 adults. It's truly sick. And we're supposed to feel bad. They got this sad music, playing, like we're supposed to feel sorry for her. No, I feel sorry for your kids that they don't know what it's like to have actual parents. First of all, there's not a father in sight. Second of all, their mom's a manatee who like slides around everywhere she goes, eating, probably eating more than they do. As a mom, you should make sure your children eat before you even eat. And yet, your kids are having to feed you. Oh my goodness. Pathetic. Like, somebody should take her kids away from her. And then she's a special education teacher? What? What is she able to teach at this point? You can't even stand up. She probably has the kids all come to her. So if something happens in the classroom, what is she going to be able to do? You can't even physically get up and break up kids if they got into a fight, or God forbid something happened in the classroom, a child fall, hit their head. You can't get up and check on them. What are you going to do? Just yell for help? They got to wait 10 minutes for you to get up out of a chair and slide down the hallway? This is insane. I will never understand this. How she even still has a job is honestly shocking. I do appreciate the fact that she does work, because otherwise she really would be a burden to society. She'd be on welfare and probably food stamps and everything else. Which I don't know. She still could be, because she does have 5 kids, and we know teachers don't make a ton of money. She could also be making child support because the fathers aren't clearly there. And I say fathers because for some reason I just doubt that she has one baby's father. I just truly do. And that may be judgmental of me, but let's be real. Let's be real. Anytime you see a mom with like 5 kids and stuff like that, the kids are all different shades and hair colors, textures, and stuff like that, they ain't got the same daddy. She's probably never been married once. Hate to say it, but very stereotypical.
I have the snacks I brought, and there's always more around. And if I run out, it's usually around lunchtime. I do look at the food in front of me and say,
she's having a whole pizza party by herself. 2 large pizzas. And don't you just love the way the 600-pound people just never have a plate? Like, you just straight eat out of the daggone box. You don't feel any level of shame doing this. Like, when you had these pizzas clearly dropped off to you, because I'm sure you didn't get up and actually go pick them up. But you feel nothing when you're pulling 2 boxes of pizzas towards you and not getting even just something as simple as a piece of paper towel or a plastic plate or whatever. You're eating straight out of the cardboard. Ugh. Disgusting. This is a disgusting level of gluttony.
I don't need it, but it's good, so I just want to keep eating.
Throughout the day, Cynthia keeps snacking on fast food.
Even when I'm full, if it's something that I really enjoyed eating, I will eat until it's gone. As far as career, I'm doing what I want to do. Give me a yes or no and tell why. If I lost this job, I have no idea how my kids would survive. Food is destroying my life, but I just can't stop eating.
From cookies to sandwiches and ordering 2 whole pizzas for lunch, her day revolves strictly around food. Once she's home from work, all she wants to do is eat again.
When I see my mom hurting a lot, it makes me feel bad. It's really heartbreaking and sad.
At this point, we need some.
I'll tell you what's heartbreaking and sad, little girl. The fact that you even know how to fry pork chops. Like, she's using crackers to bread them and everything. Like, give this kid an apron and a show. We might as well call it 11-year-old cooking time or something, because this is crazy. Is she frying up pork chops? I swear, I know adults that don't even know how to do this. And this is an 11-year-old. So you mean to tell me that you had these kids and trained them up, raised them up, so they could basically serve you like you're some kind of queen of Sheba or something? And yeah, I do look at it like that. I don't have any pity for the mom. I have, like I said, pity for the children, because they're not allowed to be kids. A mom is supposed to make sure her kids eat. She's 11 and she's frying food? Like, this is crazy.
Something drastic to happen to get us back to where I'm the parent and they're just kids. If I don't do something drastic, I'll die at an early age. I need to be here for my kids.
Honey, I hate to say it, but the fact that you are 600 pounds, you've probably already taken years off of your life. And let's just be real. I hate to say it, because, I mean, technically, any of us could go at any moment. Anything can happen. We can get struck by lightning tomorrow, hit by a bus. I'm aware of that. We're all human. We all have mortality. But when you've gotten to 600 pounds, oh, believe me, even if you do lose the weight, you've already taken time off. No question. So that should be a wake-up call for anybody watching this video. If you're obese now or morbidly obese like this woman, you've probably already taken time off of your life. So you need to get it together today, starting literally right now. Like, go in your cupboards, throw out everything processed, throw out everything full of sugar, and drink water, and just eat protein. Like, literally protein and vegetables. I don't think you need another carb in your life. If your weight is over 300, you don't need not one more carb for the rest of your life. Not one.
Nobody else is here. They don't have anything else.
And her daughter has to head back into the kitchen to make her last meal of the day because Cynthia's body has given up on her at this point in the day. For dinner, Cynthia has giant serving of fried chicken and cheesy mashed potatoes, which is the final nail on her calorie coffin for the day.
I am completely miserable. Anytime that I close my eyes and go to sleep, I'm not going to wake up. And every time that I do wake up, I'm just as surprised as everyone else.
Erica's Story, Season 5. Erica Wall is a 44-year-old woman living in California, weighing over 661 pounds, and it's safe to say that her weight has taken over her entire life.
And as soon as I get up, my body gets so starving and so hungry that I just have to eat. Walking is very difficult for me, and the only places that I can go in my house are my bed, the toilet, and the kitchen.
As soon as she wakes up, the first thought in her head is to head over to the kitchen and grab some food.
So no matter how hard it is, I have to get food and eat it in my bedroom. There's nothing better than to have that something sweet first thing in the morning.
Did this woman use her shirt as like some sort of satchel to carry all those sweets from the kitchen to her room? Oh my God. And then she's only able to waddle from her bed to the bathroom to the kitchen. I mean, that's no quality of life. That's just not. I don't even understand why you're even trying at that point. I mean, I guess if you're still alive, you definitely still have a chance to turn your life around. But if it's gotten to the point where you're 44 and 600 pounds, I mean, yeah, I'm surprised you're alive too. And that's just me being real, because we know so many people that don't even make it out of their 30s at that weight. Heck, we've seen YouTubers, making videos one day and then the next day they're gone. There are so many more things that are enjoyable about life. This woman, she's just sitting here unmarried, no children, no nothing. Like, she didn't even have anything, to begin with. And I'm not saying that, just because a woman doesn't have any children, she doesn't have, a life, because you definitely still have, you could possibly have a career and stuff, but she doesn't even have that. Like, you don't have a career, you don't have a husband, you don't have any children. So what have you been doing with the 44 years of life that you were given? And you're clearly stuck at home, so you're not working. So she's 100% a burden to society. Why are we doing this again? And we're supposed to feel sorry for you because Like I said, people like this burdening society, burdening their family members. And for what? Chocolate cakes.
This lets me know that my day is gonna be okay.
Erica needs her fill of sugar and pastries first thing in the morning as she waits for her niece to head over and help her out with other things.
The only family member I get to see on a consistent basis is my niece, Jessie. She is the only one that comes and helps me, takes care of me.
I've always been concerned about Erica's weight and where she is right now. She's dependent on me.
I hate my life. I'm not even living.
Thank God for the blur, because can you imagine what we would be seeing right now? The only person that she's got even at this point is her poor niece, who's very young, who has a life of her own to live. She's not even your child. She's like your freaking brother or sister's kid. And she's given up her, youthful young years and part of her day feeding you. For what? For what? What are you going to do for her? Do you have an inheritance for her? Or are you just eating away all the little bit of money you probably get from the government? You're like literally incapacitating yourself, deforming your body, literally stealing the lives of everyone around you because they have to help you do everything. And because you just want to eat. And it's just disgusting to watch people engorge themselves. And I don't know how much more of this I can take, to be honest with you.
And I never in a million years believed that my life would end up like this.
It's obvious that Erica uses food as her coping mechanism, but the addiction has gotten to a point where she's unable to think of anything else, and that's driven her whole family away.
I worry about Erica because my dad and my Aunt Molly don't go see her. No one really does. So I go over to help her clean up and do what she needs and get her groceries.
Sometimes she puts chips on the list when I know she has 5 bags at home, but I do get them for her because she would get really upset if I didn't.
And while her niece knows that Erica needs to start eating healthy, she can't help but give in to her aunt's demands. The woman snacks on chips, cookies, and all kinds of unhealthy foods all day long, unable to curb her desires.
So if I'm feeling really sad, worried, and disappointed, I binge.
Which is obviously all the time, because you have every reason in the world to be sad because your life sucks, be worried because your life is on the edge, and depressed because, again, you're probably feeling quite hopeless because you're 600 pounds, and like losing that much weight would almost be like somebody saying, here's a walking stick and a bottle of water, now you got to walk 1,000 miles. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might as well just say that that's what you have to do, because it sounds like an impossible feat, especially at her age and the conditions she's in. Like, I honestly wish all the hope and luck in the world for these people. I mean, I know this video may have come off a little bit harsh, but at the same time, I don't want to sound like the kind of person that's just tickling your eardrum, because you're a burden to society. Your food addiction is horrifying and it's disgusting. It's truly disgusting. And I think that it needs to be said because of the fat acceptance movement. We don't have a drug acceptance movement because most people know that that's a pitiful, poor lifestyle choice. But why we're choosing to, uplift or give kudos to people who are big, or accommodate them, give them free tickets on an airplane and things like that. Why we're choosing to do that, I will never know. Well, I'm here to say, you know what? There's something truly disgusting about it. And it's not just about the way you look. It's just about the way everything is around it, period. The fact that this woman's brother and sister no longer have communication with her and don't visit her, it's probably because they've known her longer than this young lady has. So they've had to deal with her way longer, and they've probably spent time, money, and energy trying to help her. And all she did was waste their time, money, energy. And they've gotten to the point where sometimes you just have to write people off. Like, I can only do so much to help you help yourself. And if you just refuse to do it, you got to cut people like that off. You got to start looking at the people in your life and saying, you know what, are you a plus or are you a minus? Do you do anything for me that is influential or a positive? Is there anything that I can get from you that might actually be good? And I'm not saying always in a monetary way. It could be good conversation, it could be loyalty, it could be a good friendship, somebody that you can lean on. Who knows if she's that to that young lady, or if she's just somebody that the young lady looks at as her charity case. Because again, she hasn't lived long enough and experienced 44 years with this woman like her dad has, or like her dad's sister or whatever. They know her longer. They've been there from day one when they were growing up together. So they know how their sister is. Maybe she's one of those people that refuse to change, and she's gotten so far bad that they don't even want to see her do this to herself anymore. And I get that. I totally get that. Again, I liken it to being friends with somebody who is a severe drug addict, somebody who shoots up heroin, and they've destroyed their bodies so much physically, it's hard to be around them. It's hard to even converse with them because their mindset is so warped from the drugs. Well, it's the same thing when you're dealing with somebody whose mind is so warped from that fake sugar, that high fructose corn syrup that's probably 90% of this woman's meal intake. And you guys, literally, we're going to look into that in probably my next video, but I do believe that those fake sugars and things like that definitely affect your brain. And if you've made it this far, I appreciate you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell me what you think, and I will see you all next time.
And welcome to my video, and that's fat people. And that's very real, and she likes it. But then, the night goes at bed sleeping, so we have to be quiet. And I have my glasses on. And she's mommy. And those are the clothes that shape her butt right there.